We are learning that Joe Biden will be giving a national address later this evening to Americans. Let's bring in CTV's Joy Malbon, who is standing by in Washington, our bureau chief there. Joe Biden with a primetime address, and I'm curious, Joy, what you think we're going to hear from him. This is now, I believe, the second or third time we're going to be hearing from him.
First off, though, I have to say, the state of the race, agonizing, okay? This vote count is agonizing. You know, we talked about election day, more like election week, but Joe Biden, you know, he has to make the speech of his life tonight. He has spoken all along that he will be a president for all Americans. He's talked about unifying, but he's got to do so much more. He's got to, right off the bat, start a conversation with some of the governors in some of these states, these red Republican states, to bring this country together. I mean, there is such a sharp divide, and you have President Trump in the Oval Office tweeting out, stop this count. I won this election with the legal votes, again, casting dispersions and sowing doubt on the whole entire process here. It doesn't help matters. As the mayor of Philadelphia just said, it's time for Donald Trump to put his big boy pants on and acknowledge that he has lost this race and congratulate the winner.
And so regardless of what Joe Biden says tonight, Joy, I mean, this process will continue because, you know, of recounts now in Georgia, for example, demand for a recount in some other states, and all these lawsuits now that we expect to start flying.
Well, yeah, this is not over. I mean, Philadelphia says they've got something like 40,000 votes to still count, provisional ballots, and then some. And it will take a few more days. And as you mentioned before, in Georgia, it's the lead for Joe Biden is so razor thin that it is going to a recount. Now, Donald Trump has served notice that in all of these states that are very, very close, they are filing lawsuits. Now, a couple have already been dismissed about the acknowledgement of late mail-in ballots that have been postmarked on Election Day. Because remember, we're in a pandemic, and people were given mail-in ballots so that they didn't have to put their safety at risk. A lot of Democrats listened to that, and they mailed in their ballots. He's trying to suggest, without any evidence, that somehow there is fraud and cheating going on. So yes, you know, will there be lawsuits? Certainly the Republicans will try. Donald Trump is suggesting that this will go to the Supreme Court, but there is no evidence of fraud yet that we know of. So until there is evidence, there is no way that the Supreme Court will take this up.
What about Republicans? We know we've heard from people like Senator Lindsey Graham and Senator Ted Cruz and, you know, a number of members of Donald Trump's own family. But I'm curious about other Republicans, you know, whether they're agreeing with these allegations of fraud and rigged, stolen ballots. Where do they stand?
Well, look, Republicans are in a pickle. We know that this is the Trump party now. I mean, Donald Trump, Jared Kushner's son-in-law, even acknowledging that this was a hostile takeover of the Republican Party by Donald Trump. Sure, you're going to have the Rudy Giulianis and you're going to have, you know, other people standing by him. But we're starting to see a trickle here. Remember Governor Chris Christie? He was one of the first to go over back in 2016 and join the Trump campaign, helped him with debate prep. He's saying what the president is doing and saying just inflames the situation. Rick Santorum, another Republican, on air last night said it's dangerous. And Mitt Romney just tweeted that this is very wrong for the president to do. It was one of the strongest tweets so far because he's been kind of on the fence, because we all know if you go against Donald Trump, you know, you don't get support and you get turfed, and people like Jeff Flake, and we heard what he said about the late John McCain. So bit by bit, Republicans are coming out saying, whoa, let's wait a second here, because this is American democracy. The vote is sacred. Let's count the votes and see where it all plays out.